The question is that the motion be agreed to. Honourable Heke-Parata.
Mr. Speaker, it's fascinating how obsessed the opposition is with what's happening in the National Party. And that is because there is so much happening in the National Party and so little happening in the Labour Party. That's why the attention is focused over here. Look, I'm proud to be part of a government that is governing for the 21st century. We are fully a part of the present and we are also focused on the future. And that's why, for instance, we've invested so much as a government into science and innovation. We know that that will underpin the economy of New Zealand and grow prosperity for all. When Stephen Joyce and I announced our Science and Society in 2014, we were interested in how we could invest in a nation of curious minds, as opposed to a bench of pathetic minds. We are really in how do we grow the inquisitiveness of New Zealanders, and we've invested $760 million in this year's budget to show that we are prepared to put taxpayers' money into what will count in growing the future of our country. In addition, we have a very active regional economic development program. This includes our partners, the Māori Party. As we go around the country, we support local communities to identify what will work for them now and into the future, and how can we invest to ensure that we're growing strong regions which will lead to overall national prosperity. This is underpinned by the extraordinary and untiring work that our Prime Minister does internationally. He goes out there, he makes connections that then sets up for our other ministers to secure trade agreements, which will then allow for the export industries off the back of our regional economies, supported by our science and innovation. And what is the critical exponential catalyst for growing all of that? It's education. And yesterday in the House, I introduced the biggest update of education that there has been in almost 3 decades. For a start, it focuses on children. It puts them at the heart of our education system. Next, it provides for a mechanism called a National Education Learning Priorities Statement, which will allow for the government to set out what the strategic objectives are for early learning and for schooling. The particular issue that has exercised the opposition, because they lost touch with their own policy proposals, is that we are enabling a legal identity for communities of online learners. Now, how anyone could be opposed to that, given the fact that we live in a digital technological society, and how important it is that our young people in particular, but actually all of us, although I'm a little sad at how many Luddites there are amongst us who think that there is only one medium of learning. There are a whole range of them, and different ways appeal to different young people. And this government is not prepared to risk the failure of any young New Zealander. So we are prepared to look at what the range of options are. Now, it was said, and someone from the opposition has said, this is a tragic social experiment. I would commend to historians that was what was said when education was extended to the working classes. This is a tragic, dangerous social experiment. I am appealing to the opposition to join us in the 21st century, where people use digital technology all the time. Indeed, we had the Assistant Speaker having his technology interrupt the House earlier today. And what I am committed to is disruption. Disrupting the way education is delivered in order that young people can start to see their own potential, be able to secure the jobs that are coming out of the information, communication and technology industry. The demand for that from our businesses in New Zealand is powerful, and we want our young people to take advantage of that. We want more Francis Valentines of MindLab. We want more Rod Drurys of Xero, who are based here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and selling to the world and selling selling to the world using intellectual capital and the digital platform that this government has seen the power for in investing into every one of our schools. Mr. Speaker, this national government, led by the inspirational and aspirational John Key, is governing for the 21st century. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Fletcher Tabuto.